Hello. In my previous video, I concluded with two questions. The first question was, why is God apparently so discriminatory? And second was, if as per Islam, God is separate from me, if He is a different being, and if I am made of clay, and the jinns are made of fire, and the angels of light, then what is God made of? These were the two questions. So let's look at the first question. Why is God apparently so discriminatory? I am not willing to accept as an answer that it is none of my business to know. God has given me a mind, a brain, which I am sure He wants me to use. And therefore I want to know the answer. I want to try my best to discover the answer. And since the Abrahamic faiths don't provide me with a satisfactory answer, I look for an answer in Hinduism. Does Hinduism answer the question, why is God apparently so discriminatory? Why does He make one man healthy, another person unhealthy? Somebody very talented, somebody not so talented, somebody very rich, somebody very poor. So I looked into Hinduism and I did find an answer to both the questions. But in this video, I'll cover the first question, why is God so discriminatory? Now, when there is a theory proposed to us or presented to us, we examine it for its validity. We scrutinize it. We ask for proof. One kind of proof is practical demonstration. But all theories, all truths cannot be practically demonstrated. For example, Albert Einstein, when he presented his theories, his theory of general relativity, for example, he did not practically demonstrate it, because the theory of general relativity is such that it can't be practically demonstrated at once. So my point is, if a theory passes the test of logic and reason, then it has to be accepted as correct. There are two ways to logically prove a proposition. One is deductive logic. A, therefore B, therefore C, therefore D. Another is proof by logical elimination of possibilities. We all studied some geometry in school, and geometry had theorems. We were given a theorem which we had to prove. And one theorem I remember was that two sides of a triangle are greater than the third side. And we were supposed to prove it. And how did we prove it? We could not prove it by logical deduction. So we proved it by logical elimination of possibilities. If we are measuring lengths of two objects, then there are three possibilities. Either they are equal in length, one is greater than the other one, or one is smaller than the other one. So there are three possibilities when we measure lengths: equal to, lesser than, or greater than. There is no fourth possibility. So in the theorem which we did in school, we first started with the possibility that they are equal. Then we made logical deductions and arrived at a fallacy. And fallacy is not acceptable. So that possibility that the two sides of a triangle are equal to the third side, that possibility is eliminated, because its logical analysis results in a fallacy. Then we took the second possibility, that two sides of a triangle are smaller than the third side. Starting from that proposition or assumption, we made logical deductions and arrived at another fallacy. Therefore, even that possibility had to be eliminated. Now remained the third possibility and the only possibility remaining, and that was the two sides of a triangle are greater than the third side, and we did not have to prove it because there were only three possibilities: equal to, smaller than, or greater than. Equal to was dismissed because it led to a fallacy. Smaller than was dismissed because it led to a fallacy, and therefore the only remaining possibility has to be correct. That is how we proved that theorem in mathematics or in geometry, that two sides of a triangle are greater than the third side. So, as we examine the question, why is God apparently so discriminatory, we shall proceed with this approach: logical elimination of possibilities. Okay. It was Isaac Newton who propounded the laws of motion, and his third law was every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That is applicable in gross bodies, true, but there is also a subtle version of it, which was mentioned in the Hindu texts long ago. What we are today, what we see around us, is reaction to some action. Motivational speakers in the corporate sector often tell us that our achievements, our success or failure level depends on us. Many philosophers have said people deserve what they get. People get the government they deserve. If you are not doing well in life, don't blame others, blame yourself. And we readily accept it when it comes in a secular atmosphere. But tell me, are those advisories valid? Take the extreme case of a baby being born right now on the roadside. Poor child of a beggar. And another baby born in the family of the world's richest man. From birth, they are not equally positioned. The beggar's child is at a severe disadvantage compared to the world's richest man's child. Okay, there are exceptions of rags to riches stories, but they are exceptions. And those exceptions also have a theory, but we shall not cover it in this video. We go by what is general, what is normal, and we find that discrepancies or discrimination is there from birth. There is no point telling the beggar's son, you try hard, use your mind well, and you will be like the world's richest man's son. You will accomplish the same things which he is doing. It's like fooling him. It's not true. Therefore, the theory that we are told in our corporate training seminars or conferences that we are responsible for what we are is not exactly correct. But the theory is correct, as we shall soon see. Why is one person born as a beggar's son and one person born as the world's richest man's son? The rationalist will say it's a matter of chance. It's an accident of birth. But not really. Our destiny is part of nature. We find that nature is very precise. Even if the universe was created by a big bang, there was some precision in that bang. So perfectly symmetric planets were formed, revolving in their orbits at a constant pace. 24 hours make a day, 364.25 days make a year. That 0.25 we correct every 4 years in the leap year. It's precise. If nature is so precise, and if there are imprecisions, they are explainable. Then why should man's destiny be imprecise? And if it is imprecise, then it must be explainable. And what is the explanation? If not, the action-reaction theory. This, in Hinduism, is called the law of karma. But the man born as a beggar's son, he was born as a beggar's son on the roadside. He had no chance to perform any karma when he was born. Then when did he perform his karma? When did he perform the action which led to the reaction of his birth as a beggar's son on the roadside? When? If not in a prior birth. The law of karma is rendered invalid if there was no previous life. And Hinduism says there were many previous lives and there will be many lives to come after this life. The person remains the same, the body changes. The deeds I perform in this life are the actions which will lead to a reaction in my next life or maybe even in this life later. So, what our corporate motivational speakers say that we are responsible for our condition in this life, which seemed wrong earlier in this video, now seems right in light of the law of karma and rebirth. The child of the poor beggar and the child of the world's richest man are both experiencing the reaction to their past karma, usually past life karma. God, as Einstein said, does not play dice. There is the law of karma behind why we are the way we are. Therefore, the answer to the question, why does God discriminate so much? Answer is, God does not discriminate. We earn our experiences in each lifetime, across lifetimes. That is the law of karma. It's not just in Hinduism, this law of karma, hence the law of rebirth or the law of reincarnation. It's not only in Hinduism, but Hinduism makes it explicit. I think it is also in Christianity. Jesus said, if somebody slaps you, turn the other cheek. Why could he have said that? Why? An element of the law of karma is behind this teaching. Why? Suppose somebody slaps me now. It is my past karma that entitled me to a slap now. Somebody had to slap me, so he slapped me. And if I am conscious of the law of karma, I have reason to suspect that some more slaps are due to me. So I would rather turn my other cheek and take one more slap. So as I take a slap, I have redeemed some karma. And that proportion or that portion of that karma which I have been redeemed of goes to the man who has slapped me. Now somebody will slap him, and that's how the circus of life continues. That explains both the circus of life. Karma passes from man to man. We have to exhaust our karma. That is the only reason I can think of why Jesus said, if someone slaps you on your right cheek, turn your left cheek to him. But he did not elaborate. The elaboration is there in Hinduism. If you believe in one life and then the day of judgment and punishment or reward hereafter or for eternity, then the first question, why is God so discriminatory, is not answered. Then we have to believe that it is none of our business. It is God's business. But since we have a stronger answer in Hinduism, we have to accept it. No matter which book says what. If you value reason, if you value logic, then the law of karma, hence the law of reincarnation or rebirth, is valid for all people. Thank you.